And we're live. Yes, we're live on YouTube. Yes, we are. Arsenal let us down again. And I'm joined by a really special guest, Lolo from On the Stop, On the Stoop.
On the stoop. What's up, brother? How are you?
Honestly or lying? You want me to lie? I'm great.
Yeah.
Honestly, I'm still fuming, mate. How you doing?
Yeah, man. I have to tell people on our show when they're like, "Yo, how you doing, Lolo?" I'm like, "Are you asking me as the host of my show how I'm doing, or me as an Arsenal fan how I'm doing?" Because those are two very different people at the time. I know your show is Arsenal focused, but our show, we try to hit as many Premier League teams as possible. So it's a little hard after coming off of such a terrible performances by Arsenal to start talking about other teams and like what they can do better and what they're doing good. Meanwhile, I'm like, this fucking sucks.
So
This
before
is
we
terrible.
get into it, let me just hit an introduction and let's get into the show.
All right.
Thank you, guys. Good afternoon. It's sunny here in London. In New York, I don't know what's going on there.
The sun's barely out.
Yeah, and I'm joined with Lola from On the Stoop. Is that how you say it?
Stoop, yeah, on the stoop.
New York's biggest Premier League YouTube channel, and his really is amazing, and it's an absolute privilege to have you on my channel. Thank you so much for joining me.
No worries, man. Glad to have you. Do you know what a stoop is?
No, please.
So a stoop, it's a very New York thing, and I think it's actually a Dutch word. But, you know, New York used to be New Amsterdam. It was founded by the Dutch. But in Brooklyn, in front of everybody's house, you have a bunch of steps leading up to essentially the first floor.
So like those big townhouses.
Yeah, they're all these brownstones right out here. So you'll see on my show, we're sitting outside on the steps, but that's called the stoop. And the way it works here in Brooklyn is like on a nice day, everyone's just sitting out on their stoop. You come home from work, you don't go inside, you sit on your stoop. Yes. And you say hi to people, you talk to people. People walk by and go, "Arsenal sucks," you know, like
yeah, they're right.
And yeah, they're not wrong right now. But that's
yeah. So before we get into it, just tell me a bit more about your channel and what you do over there in New York.
Yeah, so we're trying to bring the vibe of what it's like to be a Premier League fan in the US. You know, you can't we don't have a club here, a Premier League club that we were born and raised with generally, unless you have British parents or something, like some way that maybe your parents brought you up supporting a certain club. But it's not like we have everyone in Brooklyn supports Arsenal. No, it's like on this block, there's 10 teams represented. So if you go to a bar, there are bars that are specific, like Arsenal bar, that's a Liverpool bar. But generally speaking, like in your neighborhood, there's probably one bar that will show all the Premier League matches. So you're there with everybody. So you can't just be at a bar talking about your under 23 squad and your like 16-year-olds that are coming up because nobody cares because they care about their club. So you got to know a bit more about everybody's club so you can talk shit.
So it's not like in London where you've got specific bars for specific clubs.
I mean, there are those, but the vast majority of bars will just be like, oh, that's a Premier League bar. They show all the Premier League matches. Oh, that's a football bar. They show everything. And so that's what we're trying to bring in our channel is what it's like to hang out on a stoop in Brooklyn, sitting around, people walking by, and you're just talking shit with your buddies about their bad team, and they're talking about your bad team. And
yeah, I notice you're always on the stoop in all weathers, no matter
what. In all weather, yeah, man.
Snow, rain, wind, whatever.
Yep, the boys got to play. The lads got to play in all the weather, and you know Arsenal does better in the snow apparently.
West Brom.
West Brom, man. Yeah, bring it. I was like, can it snow every day, please?
I know, but what made? So how did you become an Arsenal fan then? Like, what's that? What's the story there? Like?
Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah.
My
Cheers,
brother.
mate. Cheers.
Yeah, cheers. Coffee time.
Cheers,
This
everyone.
is a coffee cup in America.
Yeah, man. I remember the coffee there. The cups are huge.
Yeah, they're massive, and I have like 3 of them. But my brother-in-law is from Dublin, and he's a contributor on our show. He's huge, massive Arsenal fan, and he was living here in Brooklyn.
Yeah.
And I was like, "You need to learn NFL," and he's like, "No, you need to learn real football." So we both kind of taught each other about the sport.
Yeah.
And he taught me backstory, history, all of this stuff. And so I started watching football with him and became an Arsenal fan through him. And I made him a New Orleans Saints fan because I'm a New Orleans Saints NFL fan. So I taught him all about that and how we're terrible and all that. So yeah, that's how I became an Arsenal fan. And once you pick a team, that wasn't until 2010.
Wow. So you've seen bad times, like.
I've only seen the bad times, I mean, I've got FA Cups to rely on. I've got the tail end of Arsene Wenger I also came into it only knowing Champions League. Like in my history, we've always been in the Champions League. So maybe it's my fault. Ever since I started supporting Arsenal's kind of meandering and falling down.
That's the impression I'm getting from a lot of fans. I feel now even more privileged. I've seen us lift 5 league titles, not put either on the TV in the ground. And for me, as each game goes on, each day goes on, I just think, wow, I was so bloody lucky.
Yeah.
So, I mean, as an Arsenal fan, like, are you still? Let me get your opinion of last night, because it's just left me in my Arsenal head. I'm in a bad mood.
Yeah.
My missus knows, and she knows. Like I'm just like, I'm worried, like, because I don't know if you think we're going to go through, or what you think of the game. Maybe I just get your opinion of what happened last night.
Listen, man, it's like I just can't. Right now, there's something wrong, and it's mental. There's a mental issue going on at Arsenal right now. It's a lack of faith in the manager with some of the players. It's not understanding what it means to wear the badge with some players.
Yeah.
Look at you. You're fucking furious. I'm fucking furious. And what are we both wearing the day after? We don't have a match today. We had a shitty match yesterday.
I'm still wearing a bloody shirt.
Exactly. You know what? I took off my hoodie. It was an Arsenal hoodie. Like So we have a bunch of players. What I like to say, we have a bunch of millionaire children on our team that throw hissy fits and can go out and play with an attitude of they're better than this, or they're mad, or I mean, Aubameyang is all pissed off about being dropped and not starting in this match. But then he comes on in the 78th minute and he plays with more enthusiasm than I've seen him play ever. Those 12 minutes, 14 minutes that he played, that's the Aubameyang that we miss. He was going in for challenges. He had a beautiful assist. He fought for that ball, and then toe poke perfect pass.
That's a great
Pepe fought for that ball, won it, and then clinically finished. They're not doing that when they start from 90 minutes out. But then I'm all over the place here. You're starting to get me all riled up. I was all happy before just talking about my channel.
Just be honest. Be honest.
I'm torn with Mikel Arteta because clearly he's doing something wrong. But when he does things like benching Aubameyang for the North London derby, I was fine with that. I was actually like, and then yesterday, benching him, I was 100% with that, because you know what? The last few performances he's had, he doesn't want to be there. He's got a fucking shitty face, a shitty mentality. And to me, you can look back 6 months ago, 5 months ago, or something like that on my channel. I did a long rant about this is not my captain. This is not a captain.
I agree.
I love Aubameyang as a player. He's a fantastic player. But as soon as the armband, people are like, as soon as he signed, he started going down. No. As soon as he got the armband, he started going down, because he's not that type of player.
Yeah.
And this is my thing. I don't think it's his fault. He was given the captainship so he would stay, so he would sign. And then he signed. But listen, he's just not a captain. If he's having a bad match, he disappears. And mentally, he disappears. If there's a scuffle on the pitch, he backs away from it.
So would you cash in on him in the summer?
I think he can still be an Arsenal legend. I do believe so. I believe this is a rough year. Things are weird. You know, he did have some home life stuff that we don't know about. But I think Arsenal is lacking leadership. And when we're playing a game of pass the armband to make people happy, instead of giving the armband to somebody who's an actual leader and going to lead. And people have talked shit to me about my choices for who should be captain. But in all honesty, Xhaka, David Luiz, Leno, but most importantly, Tierney would be my captain.
Look what's happened to him.
Now he's out. But when I say Xhaka and David Luiz, people are like, you're out of your mind. You're out of your mind. But I'm not saying they're the best players. I'm saying they're the best leaders on the pitch. They're the ones who are yelling at people. They are the ones who are getting frustrated and mad and organizing and calling out after the match yesterday. Yeah. Or right after the goal. So basically right after the match.
I understand what you're saying, because take Luiz and Xhaka's football brain out of it. They have got leadership qualities, but they're not the answer going forward. But for now, we bloody need leaders. We need
leaders
desperately. Or this season.
Did you see after the match? Did you see Xhaka goes over and gives out to Gabriel and Cedric
and
Holding.
Yep.
And what does our captain do? Head down, walks past them, and goes into the locker room. Probably goes straight to his fucking Ferrari. Are you kidding me? I would be on the pitch. That's when you bring him out and you say, no, let Slavia Prague go in. We're gonna actually work on some fucking set pieces right now while we're still all geared up and we're all stretched. We need to figure out what went wrong. But right now it's no, let's go. And then even fucking like one of the guy who scored the goal comes up to Bellerin and he's like, would you like to change? Would you like to change shirts? And he just goes, no.
Yeah, that drives me mad. That does. Like the shirt changing and everything. You should be like, yeah, just be angry. It's right. Like they're just a bunch of babies, and they just they just don't know what it means to play for this.
And that's what I'm talking about. You know, Bellerin's playing with 1 foot out the door, 1 foot on the catwalk. So pissed off. I was in Times Square the other day, and I'm doing something bitching about Arsenal, and my buddy goes, "Hey, look behind you." And on the H&M, there's a massive billboard of Hector Bellerin for H&M, and I'm like,
my opinion is get him out, please. Like,
there's some toxicity here right now, and what sucks is the players that I'm generally backing to say like these are the players we need to focus on keeping. Are not the players that everybody likes. You know, for me, Lacazette needs to stay.
Okay.
And I know we're gonna have to sign him to a contract. It's gonna cost us a lot of money. Is he worth it? My thought is Lacazette's one of the only guys who consistently plays with a passion. He does more than what he was originally brought here to do, which was score goals. So I think he's better in a false nine role. I think his hold up play is fantastic, and it's stuff that Aubameyang generally doesn't do. And if you hear any of the kids talk, Emil Smith Rowe, Saka, all the way down, Martinelli, when they talk about leadership in training and who they're getting the most from, it's Lacazette.
Yeah.
Look at when we turned the season around, was when all of a sudden we had to play Lacazette and Emil Smith Rowe. And you know what? They had great chemistry and they were doing great. And Lacazette's not concerned with having to shoot. He can do his hold-up play, let the kids run in and slot him in, and then be there to pick up anything that bounces, that gets
talking about away. Youngsters, talking Martinelli, I would have started him yesterday. I don't know about you, but Willian, what did he do? Like, I think it was Emmanuel Petit came out and said, we're just a old person's, what do they say, retirement home?
Retirement home, yeah.
Yeah, and just a place for old footballers to go and just earn a shitload of money. And it's just hindering the progress of people like Martinelli and possibly even Smith Rowe. You know, just I want to see the youngsters play. I'm a big fan of the youngsters. I don't know about you.
I am. Martinelli, for me, I'm a bit torn because his skill is undeniable.
Yeah.
I mean, is it his fault or is it needing a run of matches to get in form? I just feel like he's kind of made of glass. He kind of gets injured anytime he strings a couple matches together. Maybe that's why he doesn't play all the time. And listen, I was actually happy with the Willian signing. I've always been a fan of Willian. I've always been a fan of him, and
I was as well.
My thought was, we have Willian and David Luiz here. We're talking age, experience, and their skills when they were in their prime are undeniable. They were both fantastic players. That leadership with the young squad that I saw that we had with Emil Smith Rowe, Joe Willock, even Ainsley Maitland-Niles, guys I know that we've loaned out or gotten rid of, but Saka, all these young guys could take that leadership. But it seemed like we brought him in and immediately wanted him to be the star. That's not Willian. He's never been the star. He's been an assist man. He's been a free kick guy. He's been a guy that all of a sudden can sneak in the box and hit a curler. Yesterday, him and Lacazette fighting over a free kick when I'm like, and Xhaka fighting over a free kick when I'm like, this is, if I was playing FIFA, that's Willian. That's Willian every fucking time. But
Willian's been such a disappointment. I mean, when that first game against Fulham, I was thinking, what a sign, and oh my god.
But I think he's been a disappointment because we're demanding so much from him when I don't think he's being played right. I don't think he's being utilized correctly.
Like, how would you play him?
I mean, I don't know, because you can't put him on the wings anymore. So you start him where you started him yesterday, and he's right there in the middle. It's kind of a good spot for him, except that we lose a real attacking menace up front. So I don't know. I don't know. It's fucking confusing. It's why I'm not a coach or a manager, but I just think he does provide experience and a little something extra, and he can provide a little bit of magic. So I think, like in the middle there is good, because usually he plays out on the wing, right? But
then we had a couple of good games earlier, and then he was playing, like last month, he was playing quite well, but then he's just yesterday.
Well, and that's the other thing with Mikel Arteta is nobody can get a string of games in.
He doesn't keep a set team. I think we've played the same team twice, back to back, only twice. Like this, you need to have some chemistry. You need to just play the same team, and Arteta doesn't do that.
Now, I've said on our show multiple times about Arteta, he tries to win the game before the game, at the detriment of his informed players. So he's like, for this one, Rob Holding needs to be in because they do a lot of headers, so he needs to go in. Meanwhile, Cedric or like Pablo Mari, who was having a good string, gets sidelined. It's like, well, we're going to play from the back a lot, so we're going to put David Luiz in because he can kick a long ball. Well, yeah, but you know what I mean? Like he's trying to win before the match.
I didn't realize we missed David Luiz so much. I'm actually shocked that he is probably our best defender.
He has been our best defender. He makes bonehead plays, but
he's got quality. He's a leader. He's got the pass. He can have an amazing game, but then he can just do a clanger and give away a penalty. But we miss him in the team.
Yeah, we definitely miss him in the team, and you know, last night on that 90th minute, whatever, they give away a corner. Who was yelling? Who was saying anything? Who was dictating what was happening in the box? Nobody.
What the hell was Cedric doing?
Gabriel was still yelling at Cedric for passing him the ball.
Yeah.
Cedric is on the back stick. Cedric is like 5 foot tall, by the way.
Yeah.
How is he the one marking this guy all the way in the back? So, you know, Pepe gets a clearance. It just goes straight to him. So, but what I'm saying is David Luiz is in the box screaming at people and pulling people and grabbing. And that is the moment when we need the experience.
Because, at 1-0, I'm thinking, just shut up shop. Don't do anything stupid. And what really pissed me off, they celebrated too early. I think they all like so happy, but they forgot there's another 10 bloody minutes to go.
That's what I said. When our goal went in, I was happy for a split second and then went, fuck, now we're going to give up an away goal because they're all chilling out now. Look, Pepe and Aubameyang, I got to say, when they came on with a thunder. They came on with some passion.
He brought them on too bloody late.
10 minutes left in the match?
It's not enough.
No.
Make a change. This is another thing that drives me nuts about Arteta. Do something that's going to shock the fans.
Exactly.
It's predictable. He make 3 changes at half time. Be daring. Change the formation. And it's just 4-2-3-1. 4-2-3-1. You know, and it just drives me mad. He's not doing something that's just going to shock and surprise us. You good?
Yeah. My daughter's showing.
That's all right, man. I've got my little one, but I totally
it's I just don't like I'm not jumping on the Arteta out bus because I don't think constantly changing things. Like I do think we need some time.
It's hard, isn't it?
He's making it hard on me. He's making it really hard on me. And when I'm seeing him lose the dressing room, because that was the thing originally last season, you know, when he wasn't doing fantastic, at least the post-match, anytime you heard any of the players talking, they were in. They were sold on him.
Yeah.
Now I don't know. And can you blame him? Can you blame him? Like Pepe gets a goal. Pepe has a great game, and then he's benched the next game. Emil Smith-Rowe was doing
multiple times.
I'd be like, what do you want from me? Like, talk to me, tell me. And then he says something. Somebody asked him about Aubameyang's demeanor, and he said, well, you can't talk to every individual player every week. I'm like, that's your fucking captain. Yes, you can.
Yeah. So
you can't talk to under 23s. You can't talk to these guys that you bring. You can't talk to Balogun every night, every week. But you talk to your captain every single day. They should be texting each other.
They should be calling morning, noon, and night, and just thinking how the hell they're going to get improved. This season's just, the league is dead, in my opinion. I don't know what you think.
Yeah, I mean, there's.
And how you feel? Are we going? How are you feeling about next week? Like, I'm worried because they haven't lost a game at home all season.
Yeah.
I'm worried, man.
So I'm very, very concerned. However, Arsenal has been better this season when we've had our backs against the wall. The problem is when we're leading, when we're supposed to be beating somebody like Sheffield United. I'm like,
how are you feeling about that? Bottom of the league.
That's 0-0 till the last minute, and then they sneak one in, and we lose to the bottom of the league. But so my thoughts are: listen, they're gonna go in and they're gonna fucking play, and I'm hoping right away next week we go in and get an away goal straight away.
Yeah.
We can even give up a goal after that, but at least we're back on level terms, and then we can play.
Just go for it.
But go for it. That's something huge that I've been saying. Is like, listen, against Spurs, we fucking went for it. Yeah. We went balls to the wall for it. We were going in for challenges. Against Liverpool, there was a 50-50 ball. We back up and start going back towards our goal.
And why? But why can't we play? Why? You know what I mean? Like,
why?
Yeah, why can't we just exactly? It just and where that stems from the manager. Like it has
to be.
He looks like he's possibly lost the dressing room. I don't know what you feel. It looks like a lot of the players just, I don't know, they don't want to play. I don't know. It just doesn't look right.
I don't know. But here's my thing about losing the dressing room.
Yeah.
That badge on your chest is bigger than any manager and any player. And if you are pulling on that shirt and walking out to a Premier League pitch or a professional pitch anywhere in the world wearing that crest, you play your heart out and you do what the team needs. So I don't give a shit if you're mad, if you're upset, if Arteta said something that offended you. Once you pull the shirt on and you step out of the tunnel and your foot touches the green, you're representing Arsenal. You're not representing yourself. You're not representing your country. You're representing Arsenal. And a lot of these guys don't understand that or just don't give a shit. And let me ask you, you think the women's team, you think Arsenal women don't understand when they put that on?
Bro,
how
you see
awesome
what they did?
it is?
8-0. I'm thinking maybe I should start covering the women's. Maybe I should start covering the women's. Because you know what I mean? I should start getting to the Arsenal. I'm thinking about it. Because at least fantastic. They give a damn, right?
Yeah. And the under 12, all the way down, everyone who puts on an Arsenal shirt is going, I fucking made it. I'm going to do this badge. So much pride. Meanwhile, our captain is walking around.
Yeah, look at me. Yeah, it's like a mug face.
Yeah.
If you don't mind, I'll just read a couple of comments because obviously.
Yeah, sorry, I didn't even have the comments thing pulled up, and I didn't realize there were so many comments.
No. So, guys, hit that like button, subscribe if you're new, and Lolo's channel is in the description. Go and subscribe to his channel. His Insta's also there. Go and follow him, and for all the latest football from New York, Brooklyn, go and subscribe to his channel. All right. So
Oh Jesus! What's Mark saying? Add 2.
Hit the like. There, Liam, my man. He's a great subscriber. Big up, guys. Yes.
What's up, fellas?
Mate? Chris, Liverpool fan. Chris, how you doing, mate? He's still happy, obviously, but obviously Real Madrid. That's different. Big up the panel. I'm having a good day today. Hope you are. Afden says, "In Arteta we trust."
Trust what?
Yeah, trust what? We can turn this around in the second leg.
Listen, I'm the most. I always, if you ask me for a prediction, I'm always going to say Arsenal's going to win.
I don't
Hey,
know this
shut
guy.
up, John C. I know him.
Is this one of your
Yeah,
followers?
yeah. He doesn't know what he's
Lolo
talking
is
about.
right. Yeah,
Thank you.
yeah.
I think we can turn it around. I think I'm choosing us to win, of course. But it's going to be difficult, and it's all going to be based on the attitude of the guys. The skill of every single person at Arsenal is top class.
Yeah.
The skill. They have to be to put on the jersey, you know? So the only issue is attitude, mentality, tactics.
Let me know if you were picking to choose a manager and you could have a choice, who would you have picked it? Because I don't think Arteta was anyone's first choice. If you were the boardman and you're thinking, you know what, I'm going to choose this man, who would you have gone for?
Listen, somebody on here, Ashton Allman, says great coaches don't always make great managers. I agree 100%. And you know what? If I was the board and if I really wanted Arteta, I would have brought in an experienced manager, somebody world class that could be here for a year. Bring someone out of retirement. Bring Wenger back for one season. Bring Rafa Benitez on, somebody like that, and bring Arteta on as an assistant. Like, if we're really in a trust the process sort of thing, and we're really going to give it a year, give it 2 years to build something, then realize that the same way you think Martinelli isn't able to start, Arteta is not a starting 11 manager. He's a good coach, and he's got. So what he's lacking is the managerial skills. He's a good coach. What?
He's learning
on the job.
Why not? For Arsenal,
we're a massive club. Why not even say, like, I don't know, just so for me, my choice was Diego Simeone. I think he's a lunatic.
That's my dream.
I think he's a lunatic, but he has passion. He has fire.
Imagine Simeone with Bellerin.
I think Aubameyang would have been gone basically if he continued with that attitude. Now his attitude may have changed. Who knows? But I feel like Simeone will chew somebody out.
Yeah.
You know? So, like, I don't know if when Arteta does it, it feels like he's.
I don't know what doesn't help is he's so young. I think that really is against because he is. Don't forget he's played with some of these players, which is So that respect, and he hasn't. It's his first job, so that he's already got against him. So he's just fighting a losing battle, in my opinion.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, but I think Simeone. I mean, we have a lot of Leeds United fans that watch our show, and I talk about how much I love Bielsa, and they're like, "Well, would you like Bielsa at Arsenal?" And I was like, "No, because we'd have to start over, because he'd get rid of everybody. I think he'd keep Kieran Tierney." Yeah. Because Kieran Tierney runs his ass off.
But you know what?
But we've got a bunch of lazy bastards on our team, is my idea.
Yeah. So, but you said get rid of. I think that would be amazing, because we need someone who's just going to clear out everything that we don't need, and have the Kieran Tierneys in this world. Bukayo Saka. I mean, I'll tell you who I would keep. I'd keep Saka, Tierney, Smith Rowe, Thomas Partey. There's a player there. He's having a puppet. I'll keep Partey, Gabriel, maybe Lacazette, but I don't know about your opinion. Who would you keep?
Yeah, I mean, you're right. You're right with most of those.
Maybe you would add to something, or.
So it's tough. It's tough because a player like Xhaka is so infuriating most of the time.
Yeah.
But then we play without him, and you see what happens, and we have a lack of leadership and discipline in the back. When you're like, wait, discipline, Shaka, that doesn't really go hand in hand. But he's all over the place. He works his ass off for the club. Shaka does. And yes, he had the big dust up with the fans last season, or last season, right?
Yeah, last season.
Which stems from passion, though. When right now we're lacking passion,
we need passion
and leadership, and he lost the armband for that.
Talking about passion, Guendouzi, what do you think of him?
I thought he was fantastic when he first came on, and he was constantly running forward and pressing, and he was all over the pitch. He's a bit of a lunatic as well. And then something shifted where all of his passes became back passes. I don't know if it was the arrival of Danny Ceballos, who was like, no, let's go back. Let's go back. And that went with that coincided with his drop in form, because he's not getting forward and creating assists anymore because he's way back here. I thought Guendouzi and Lucas Torreira, like those were two passionate players who, as soon as they hit the pitch, they went running their asses off. They wanted it. And this is why I can't get – I'm not 100% sold on Emile Smith-Rowe, to be honest. He's fantastic. He has great talent. He's going to be a fantastic footballer. But I'm not – I think he needs another year. And that's why you bring someone in like Odegaard. I think he will learn from Odegaard, and he will make Odegaard better. Odegaard will make him better. I'm not ready to hand him the keys to the kingdom. Who were we just talking about? How did
all I get the players? So you keep all the players.
The players that we keep. So with the young guys, I think Martinelli, Saka, Emile Smith-Rowe, they're going to be the future. I thought maybe Joe Willock would be in there. Ainsley Maitland-Niles. I love the way he worked.
Doing well, Newcastle.
So that's the thing. If any of these players were to go on to a smaller team where they would get constant game time, they're gonna be good players, because Arsenal, we do our homework when we get young talent before we start signing random old people. But I think the young guys will be pushing us forward in the future. So right now, I think they should be starting every match. And if Aubameyang is only going to play in the Europa League, then let him only play in the Europa League and give these guys fitness. You said the league is dead. What are we going for? Not
nothing.
11th, not 11th place. What are we trying to beat? Leeds United? Like, the goals in the league are stupid. Like, we have no goals. So, you know what? Bench all these these fucking
OAPs. The OAPs, I call them. OAP, old age pensioners.
Oh, the old age pensioners. But I mean, like, give Balogun a run. Let's see. Let's see him up against some real talent.
Apparently, he's signed a new contract. Or apparently he's about to. So that's doing the rounds in the UK. So I don't know what you think about that, but for me, if he does sign, I think that's amazing, because
I'm a little. I don't like a young kid like that giving such, like, the same thing with Saliba.
Okay.
With like, relax. You haven't done anything yet. Yeah. You don't need to be pressuring people to sign a contract or anything like that. So if there's that at that young age, it's gives me a little bit of a worry. But he could possibly be the striker of the future for us. He's a big guy. He's talented. But like, in my opinion, Arsenal are more likely to go for Sergio Aguero, like, he's the right age for us, as opposed to promoting from within. Like, I'm just saying, the league is done. Why not play all these guys and give them some first team experience against clubs that still have something to prove? We're going up against a run of teams right now that are potentially in relegation battles or top 4 battles, like
winnable games. They're all winnable games.
So put somebody in there, get Martinelli some goals, promote
the youth,
like let him play. Let that Lopez kid from Barcelona, Aziz,
yep,
Balogun, they should all be playing.
Agreed,
And
mate,
and give
agree.
Willian the rest of the year off.
Because
So,
it would just give us as fans something exciting to look forward to, because we need it. We bloody need it.
Yeah.
So let me just read a few more comments, because guys, thank you so much for watching. Big up Miss Melina, Canadian Gooner. How you doing? Trust the process. Chris is a Liverpool fan. Hi Chris. Hey Mel. Hi Mark. At 250 grand a week, he can't be the captain. I think he's on more than that.
Yeah, that's my my co-host. He's a Wolves fan, and he just we've talked about this, Mark. Yes, at 250 grand a week or more. No, he can't be the captain, and it's not all about money, and it's not all about your best player isn't always your captain. Your most expensive isn't always your captain. Mark Noble is the captain of West Ham, and he doesn't even start every time. But when he comes on the pitch, the armband is on his arm because he's a fucking leader.
And he cares. Hit that like button, says Delano. Balogun signed till 2025. Fabrizio announced, but he won't get game time. So Miss Melina's saying he's signed. Great coaches don't always make great managers. That's what you were saying. Yes, Charlie, big up to you. Arsenal so much better defensively with Luiz. We've touched on that. I totally agree. And another New Yorker, the relentless.
What's up,
New York in the building. Yes, he's another New Yorker. So yes, that's great. Arteta has done nothing to promote team cohesion. Might as well send him. Is he Arteta out? I don't know. Nippon, a Chelsea fan. Damn, the only time I wanted Arsenal to win a game, and you showed the performance. I can't be Arteta. I can't lie. Arteta will be here for years to come. So let's get ready. The emotional roller coaster. Us New Yorkers know our football. That's what
you know, Arsenal is saying Arteta is going to be here for years to come. I can see that. And we'll be looking back at these seasons, the end of last season, this season, and probably next season as the dark ages.
At the end of the day, we were 15th or 16th, and it wasn't even talk about his job under pressure. So even if we lose next week, I don't think he's going anywhere.
Yeah, everyone's saying he has to win this match. He has to win this match or he's gone. Arsenal wasn't saying that. No, the only ones saying that were pundits and fans. So and we don't actually control his job.
Arteta is using us for his work internship.
Exactly. Let's just hope when he does get good, we still have him. Otherwise, he's going to go somewhere. I mean, he probably should have gone to like Sevilla or Valencia or somewhere like Unai Emery. Like Unai Emery's fantastic speaking Spanish.
Oh man, he's got an away goal. I believe they won 1-0 last night.
Yeah.
And who I would not bet on Unai Emery winning this.
Yeah.
Because he won it 3 years in a row.
Yep, he knows how.
Wouldn't it be fitting that we played him? And he knows.
I would love that. I would love and hate that. Watching that.
But I don't know. Like, so what you think we'll go through, or you just think you're just worried?
Look, I think we'll go through. Watching last night, we have a better team. We have a better team. They played as a better team. They played as a team. We were a bit disjointed. Partey had the worst game I've seen him have. But like you said, he's quality. He's fantastic. He's being Arsenal'd already. Like the dude was never injured at Atletico Madrid. And then he comes here and he's spent more time on the bench. So I think next season he'll have trained with everybody, and Partey may become the captain that we need in the center of the park because the passes he can find are fantastic. And he does have goals in him, even though that's not what we have him for. I think Partey gets 25 assists next season if Aubameyang is back in form, or if we move on and start Martinelli up front and Saka and everybody. Listen, next season we have some good stuff to look forward to. Saka is going to be a year older. He's going to have a Euros under his belt. Emil Smith-Rowe will be better. We may have Odegaard. We may not. Gabriel and Thomas Partey, I believe, are going to create a strong center of the pitch for us, back center, because they're both big, they're both physical, and they're both very, very talented, and we're not seeing it yet. We're not getting it yet. I think the whole team needs to work together, and we need to get fans back. So y'all need to keep wearing your freaking masks and doing whatever it takes and stop. Like we need to get fans back.
Let me ask you this. Do you think if fans were there, do you think they would have, you think Arteta's job would have been more under pressure? Do you think something, because a lot of the time the players just don't look like they're, they wouldn't have stood for it, the fans, if the fans were in the stadium.
I think Aubameyang would have lost the armband a long time ago. But he may have turned his form around, because once again, Aubameyang is not the put everything on me, I'll guide you through this. He's more of the, not a glory chaser, but he does well with praise. A captain doesn't need praise. A captain gives praise where praise is due. Aubameyang thrives on praise. He loves scoring goals because of the fans and because his teammates come over. And without that, it's just like, even if he does score, it's not that.
So do you think Aubameyang is suffering with no fans?
Yeah, I think he's suffering the most from our club without fans.
Because he thrives on that feeling, that energy, and
exactly.
I think a lot of the players, I don't know about you, but sometimes I feel like I'm watching a training match.
Yep. And that's what it must feel like. Imagine you've played your entire life in front of fans. These guys are top players in the world, quote unquote. And so they've been playing in front of stadiums since they were what, 10?
Yeah.
12?
And then
now nothing. So it's the mentality of, you hear nothing, you can hear your coach screaming. It feels like a practice match. Meanwhile,
you could even hear Aubameyang's Ferrari.
Yeah, exactly. So I don't know, man. It's hard to speculate what would be different with fans in there. Would Arteta be gone? We may have played a lot better with fans. Of course, last season with fans, we were terrible at home. So, yeah, Delano, I hear you, man. He says Abba was scoring late last season, not an excuse for me personally. I agree. I know. Yeah. I'm just saying he hit a bad run of form and hasn't been able to get out of it. The fans may have helped him get out of it, is all I'm saying. I'm not blaming his run of form on that. I'm just saying he may have been helped out of it with some support from fans. He thrives on it. You can see. When he scores one,
he's not a bad player.
No,
he's given me a couple of great years as a fan.
Oh my God! And generally, when he scores one, you can almost put money that he's going to score two, because that feeling, that emotion, the screaming, the backflip that he's doing, or the front flip, he lives on that. So this season,
you haven't tapped out on him, have you?
No. Listen, I've been a Aubameyang fan since Dortmund. I follow Dortmund in the Bundesliga, so I'm a big fan of Aubameyang. I'm a big fan of Timo Werner. He's having even worse of a stinker, but his coach hasn't given up on him for some reason. But Aubameyang, there's no doubting his quality. Right now, it's all confidence. There's times where I'm like, shoot. Because last season he would shoot from this position, but you see him take one more touch.
Last night, the one when he came on? I think last season he's burying that.
Buries it. And he's taken additional touches. He's trying to set it up perfect when he just would have launched some shots last season.
If we're going to win this Europa League, he needs to find his shooting boots ASAP.
Because
I think without him, If he doesn't, we ain't winning it. No,
No,
sorry, we need it.
We're not winning it. And I think the problem is I agree with you 100%. And that's what I was saying, Relentless. I was not our captain. He doesn't have the leadership. So the problem is the optics of taking the armband away. If he was to start and someone else had the armband, that would be the story. And that's detrimental. That's why Arteta can't take it away from him. You think Arteta doesn't want to take the armband away?
No,
he would be mad if he didn't want to take the armband away.
Yeah,
but he can't, because the media will go absolutely nuts and say Aubameyang was stripped of the armband, when it's like, no, they need to have a sit down and go, listen, I want you to just focus on you, or just focus on your game. Don't worry about captaining. And it should be yeah, you know what? Next season, I'll be in a better headspace to be captain. But right now, I'm having mental blocks. So I'm not the best person to lead the team right now. So let me gladly give the armband away.
So like you say, now you're saying Tierney, Xhaka, Luiz, right? Any of them three.
And even I'd go all the way back to Leno, even though I'm not crazy about Leno. I still think my keeper plays for Aston Villa.
That's another conversation.
That's another conversation. And if Mark is still on here, he'll tell me, yeah, shut up about that. But to me, a forward player should never be captain. Yeah. Harry Kane's a different story. Harry Kane plays a different way. But a captain needs a striker needs to be concerned with the front of the pitch and that. The only reason I would say give it to Leno is because he's in the back and he's seeing everything.
Yeah.
And that's why you give it to somebody, a defensive midfielder or one of your center backs. They have the whole vision. But leadership-wise, it's Xhaka, David Luiz, Tierney for me. They're the ones who play. And yeah, you're right. Leno doesn't talk. Once again, the only reason I say Leno is because we don't have anybody right now. But at least he can see the whole thing.
Yeah.
And people are like, why would you give the captaincy to Xhaka or David Luiz? They're both nutcases. Yeah, but they're passionate nutcases. I'll take it. Right, you know why they get red cards?
Yeah.
Is because somebody else fucked up and David Luiz knows this is a goal. I'd rather foul him. I'd rather foul him and hope to not get a red card and have them go up for a penalty. And yes, Xhaka is never getting the armband. I know, and for good reason. Like you don't do that to the fans, no matter what's happening.
Hell no. Luiz, hell no. Leno doesn't talk.
Then who? Delano. Then who?
Yeah, that's the thing. It's true. There's just not enough. There's not.
They're either too young, too new to the team, or not right. So then my thought would be Lacazette. But once again, Lacazette has some of the passion and the leadership as he's getting older, but he's up front. So listen, crazy change up that I would do is I would play Lacazette in a central attacking midfielder role, and I would play David Luiz as a central defending midfielder role. And behind David Luiz, I would have Pablo Mari and Gabriel, because that eliminates the stupid mistakes that David Luiz makes and emphasizes what he does well.
He played that for Chelsea, didn't he? He played that position for Chelsea.
They tried it a few times. It didn't always go over well. But listen, if you had David Luiz and Thomas Partey there, we essentially have four center backs almost. Yeah. We have that allows Tierney, Bellerin, Cedric, everybody to go flying up the pitch, and then we're more solid back here. It gives leadership in the back. You have Partey and David Luiz who can play quarterback and launch perfect passes. Like that's what he does well. One-on-one defending is not what he does well.
I agree. What do you think of this question? Should Arteta use Balogun as an absolute starter next season, or should he be loaned out? What do you reckon? Cannon Fodder TV says.
Absolute starter? Who knows? Because we haven't seen him start one match. So does he have the legs for it? Does he have the brain for it? It's hard. Like what we see in training, sure. We don't see every day in training. We don't see the way he interacts with people. We don't see I don't know. I would like to see him get – that's what I'm saying. Use these last 10 matches or these last 8 matches or so. Let's see. The season's over. We're not getting Europe at this rate, but we're not getting relegated either. So for me, 8th place to 17th place, fuck it.
Yes, you don't. Nobody remembers. Nobody remembers where you finish unless it's first.
Spurs fans will tell us all they want, but I'm like, I don't give a shit. We were never first place in the season. Yes. So we were never top of the league. They were, and now they're going to be out of Europe too. So my thing is,
guys, I'm going to have to wrap this up in a minute. I can't believe it's nearly an hour.
Sorry about that, man.
I've got to collect my son from football practice.
Oh, jeez.
I could chat, and my gosh, this is really good, and thank you so much.
Yeah, man, you have to stop me, otherwise I'll keep talking.
No. If I didn't, I would keep going. But please, before we do wrap it up, tell me what you got planned on your channel, and let my subscribers know where they can all find you. Please.
Awesome, guys. Well, check out On the Stoop with Lolo. You can just type in On the Stoop. It'll be it should come right up, or the link is down in the description. But we've got some really exciting things coming up right now. So we do our normal shows every Thursday. We release the weekend watch list where we pick 3 matches that any fan should pay attention to. So like this week, we did not talk Arsenal because that match doesn't matter. So we picked our 3 matches that we should watch. And then over the weekend, we do live post-match of all of those matches. And Friday nights, tonight, we do Premier League happy hour. So it's at 7 p.m. New York time, which is midnight for y'all in the UK. But we get a good audience from the UK, and we have some drinks. We do Premier League trivia. It's fans from all over. We usually have like 6 guys all supporting different clubs, just talking smack to each other. It's like being in the bar here in New York where you've got a ton of different fans. But something very exciting that we're actually going to launch tonight after happy hour, which may be too late for you guys in the UK, but we're starting On the Stoop Gaming, where we're starting our own gaming channel where you can come along and play FIFA 21 against your favorite stoopers. So you could play against me. We play against our Liverpool Chris. We play against our director, who is a Leeds fan. Our director comes out and gets on camera. So that's a very exciting venture that we're doing. That's all on Twitch. So yeah, we're moving up in the world.
By the way, you don't need to go search. His link is in the description. And his Insta's in the description. Just click on it and subscribe, so you don't need to search it at all.
Yeah, and on Twitch. This is Luca's life. Can I play against you in FIFA? Hell yeah, man. That's what we're all about there. So if you go to Twitch, it's On the Stoop with Lolo. So twitch.tv/On the Stoop with Lolo. And you can get on there. You can play against us. We can in the chat. We offer up codes and things like that on how to join us and join in on the stream and play against us. We have our own pro club. So it's a new venture, but our fans like just hanging out with us. So essentially that's what we're doing, hanging out, but we're playing FIFA as well. So it's not your average FIFA channel because we're not very good. We're all okay. We're all okay.
Cool. All right, guys. So I'm going to have to wrap it up.
So Relentless, just to answer, do you guys get guests on the Stoop? Can I come on the Stoop? Yes, we do all the time. And we actually, I put the TV out front for matches when the weather's nice on Saturdays and Sundays. And we watch TV out on the Stoop. We watch the matches out on the Stoop.
Relentless is in New York, so he can show up.
So Relentless, hit me up on Twitter or Instagram or YouTube, and we'll talk.
And yeah, so yeah, he's his Instagram is in the link. Click on it and go follow him. All right, guys. So
we'll talk.
Thank you so much, Lolo. I really appreciate it. Absolutely brilliant.
And we'll see if you can come on tonight if you're up till midnight and you want to come out on happy hour.
Keep an eye out, and we will chat. So I'll leave you all guys with this.